On abbey shores where shadows play, the alley whispers night and day. In abomination, alley's grip, where fear and danger tightly knit. Oh, the alley breathes a tale untold of secrets dark and hearts grown cold. Abbey streets, they'll pull you in to the depths where sin begins.
Hello and welcome to Dire Bear. It's Tuesday night, so of course that means we're playing Abomination Alley, or BRP actual play. I'll be your storyteller for the evening, Jason, and with me as usual will be Sarah playing Vivian, Eric playing Michael, Patrick playing Leo,
Salute from the beyond.
Rappy playing Charlie,
Vigorous waving.
Jeremy playing Salvador, and Carr playing Teak. Alright, who remembers where we left off last time?
Little walk and talk with Salvador and Rachel.
Yeah.
And what else had gone on prior to that?
I think it was a lot of checking in with stuff.
It was mostly investigation.
Yeah, investigation-y type stuff.
You had checked in with Auntie Jen, you had her researching something.
Yes. It's been a week. She was looking at the runes that were on the coin that were found in the normal one.
Because Michael had gone to the police to request one of the coins.
And Vivian was going to drop by for breakfast and be like, look, we need the coin back now.
That is correct.
No,
well,
no,
she,
no,
you know,
you
she
can't.
told you, yeah, that she just needed the night to study it.
I'm sure nothing bad has happened to her in that time, considering all of the people that have shown up.
No, it's not, there's not going to be blood everywhere when you get there.
The maid's already cleaned up most of it. She's good like that.
Then she realized, oh yeah, I should have called the police first and then cleaned up. Oh well.
Too efficient.
Efficiency at the max.
Assassination maid, what?
Yeah, that's true.
I believe at one point Michael and Vivian were being followed.
This summer's hottest.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Then we shook them, I think.
No.
Or she just made aggressive eye contact until they left her.
You made aggressive
Yeah.
eye contact and they turned.
Mm-hmm.
Boss, she's scary.
It was a human in a pinstripe suit.
So maybe the mob. We don't know.
Could be.
I know they do like a pinstripe suit.
Both the orc mob and the Italians. Truthfully, most mobs. But it was just a thing.
Yeah.
And when we started up last week, you discovered that your big fight with the Invisible Men had gotten upstaged. If you remember, a bunch of Italians getting mowed down. Yeah, some of them known mobsters, some of them suspected mobsters. But yeah, there was some Houston.
Yeah.
I wonder who it could have been.
Yeah, the Italian mobs got lots of enemies. It could have been anybody.
Could have been anybody.
Sure, it's
Could
not
have
really
been
anybody related to y'all.
anybody. No, it's some third party we just haven't dealt with at all or related to. Or
So anyway, Salvador's talking to Michael's sister.
Yes.
Yes.
She just wanted to meet. She was in town and wanted to meet some of her brother's friends.
Well, Salvador is a gentleman and will say, "Well, I am going to my apartment at this point since this thing isn't working. So I don't know where that puts you.
Well, we
You
can
need a-
just walk and talk for a little bit.
Of course. I did not want to put you off, or it's a lonely street at this hour.
I suspect I'll be fine.
But yes, what so all you want to do is check in on your brother and his friends. Is that all?
But that's most of what brought us here. Yes.
Us.
Oh yeah, yes. My other brother's here. It's going to be a whole family reunion.
You see, Michael's mentioned you all in passing, but nothing too, nothing that you probably don't have a better way to introduce yourself about. Kind of leading the conversation to get her to talk about herself.
Well, that's a very diplomatic way for you to put that.
Yes.
I don't think Michael has too many fond memories of the family.
Something fire.
Yes. To be fair, that was our parents' doing. Yeah. And they, I guess you could say they paid the price for that.
Yeah, well, kind of a enormous end for a family like that.
Like what?
Come, don't be like that.
She gave you a big smile.
It's unbecoming.
Well, you'll find that actually happens a lot in that line of business, shall we say.
That you are still in? No longer in?
Do you really
In
want
from
to know
the
the answer to that?
shadows? Professional curiosity.
Just gonna have to kill you afterwards.
I'll just go as far as to say I'm still in the family business.
There you go. That'll work.
I hope that doesn't bother you too much, given some of your associates.
If it stays, I guess, down there. I, the player, live in the south, so everything is up. But Chicago's actually south of Michigan. As long as it stays down there, I guess we're good.
Oh, we don't really have any plans to make inroads in Abbey Shores now.
Doesn't seem like the best place to do so.
I don't know. I can think of a few ways to pitch some of the locals against each other, wear them down. I mean, it's just, just as an academic
Theory.
thought to keep myself entertained
just thought
on the train.
exercise, sure.
Chicago was quite big enough to keep me busy.
How was your train ride over?
That was pretty relaxing. I mostly read.
The hustle and bustle of that's a Jeremy joke. That's an inside joke.
It is nice
anyway.
to get out of town.
Yeah. Of course. And he will go as far as to kind of show her around a little bit in some of the places he usually goes to, different eateries in the area.
Okay.
Kind of just chewing the fat. If she wants to say anything relevant, or if she wants to give me embarrassing Michael stories, all are acceptable.
Let's see. She's willing to swap you question for question.
Sure.
So she quizzes you on how you met Michael.
We were all chosen by the runes. He kind of does a ooh.
She sort of nods her head. I was not overly familiar with that. I had heard of it, but I was not overly familiar with that tradition.
Yeah, it's
Before
it's
recently.
a thing where I'm from.
So I've been reading up on it a little bit.
We all drew runes, and all of us are the Bayorn of Abbey Shores. So
Well, that was certainly good timing, given some of the oddness that is happening in the city.
I think it was born of necessity through that oddness.
All right, I suppose it's your turn. What question would you like to ask me?
What's your brother like? Your other brother, not Michael, the other one.
Oh, Adam, if you saw him, you would notice a resemblance, facial resemblance between him and Michael pretty quickly.
I hear he's shaped like a refrigerator.
Yes, he's just a couple inches short of 7 foot and quite muscular. I think he got all the muscle that both of them were supposed to have.
Gotcha.
Michael, bless his heart, was never the athletic sort.
I know.
He's more prone to action. Sometimes a little rash. I have to rein him in. As children, we came with titles for each other. His was the Bringer of Wrath.
The Bringer of Wrath. And yours?
The Eyes Who See the Eternal.
Eyes Who See the Eternal. And
just Eyes That See Eternal.
No, the Eyes That See Eternal. Understood.
The Eyes Who See Eternal.
Eyes Who See Eternal. My apologies. I like it. It's mystical. It's kind of tells you who you are right then and there, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have one for Michael?
We'll let that be a different question.
Sure.
It's my turn to ask a question.
Of course.
Is he seeing anyone? Romantically, maybe.
Romantically, okay. I was like, you saying
maybe that was too vague.
Like...
Don't want to be too vague a question. Let you wiggle out of giving me the info I want.
I don't believe so. I'm not 100%.
Okay.
He as much as he can whenever we're not on duty will keep his personal affairs personal. So, and I respect it. I don't pry. Except in this very moment where I'm prying, so
you don't pry unless he's not around to notice you're prying.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
What a rare opportunity for me, though, as somebody to ask a bunch of questions about to his sister, though. That's a rare treat.
Yes. Oh, yes. You wanted to know Michael's name or Michael's title. He Who Remembers. It's a little less flashy than the rest of us, but
it checks out.
Prior to the recent flare-up he had, he has a gift for memorization, shall we say?
Interesting. Makes a really good lawyer. That's like cheating.
I don't know. Is any more cheating than if you're just really good at memorizing something?
Supernaturally good at memorizing. That's like if you were a lawyer, that'd be cheating.
Well, I would simply know who was going to win the case. It wouldn't necessarily change how the case was won.
Yeah, but you could charge more or less depending on what was going to happen. Kind of hedge your bets. It's almost like being a broker.
Just in the back, I've got a bidding war going for this case.
What's the lottery numbers?
But it does turn out, you know, my family does do a lot of work. Does do a lot with stocks.
Interesting. Again, it's helpful to know where the tides are going, or a better idea of it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I would recommend you invest for the next couple of years.
Anything in particular?
And foods and shotguns.
She'll actually rattle off a few things.
Uh-huh.
But only for the next couple of years. Then you might want to sell.
Salvador like surreptitiously writes it down on a napkin.
Let's see, what question would she ask next? Do you know if there are any young ladies with their eyes on him?
He's a very handsome looking man. I'm sure there's a lot of women with eyes on him.
But no one you know that's obviously making a play.
No. If I were to guess at his assistant, but that's uncouth. I don't think he would go for that.
I have been wondering about young Dorothy.
I don't. If she has any feelings, she hasn't expressed them. I don't think there's anything going on there. I've been around them for long enough.
Good. What about any of the rest of the Bjorn?
I don't think so. Like I said, I think his I know this is a kind of a weird thing to say. I know he's a very handsome man. I'm secure enough in my masculinity to be able to say so. I think Salvador's genuinely looking back to be like, Vivian? Question mark? Because I don't think they've actually made moves at each other in front of the rest of the Bayorn. No, I don't think so.
He shouldn't be alone.
I don't think I think he could have whoever he wanted. It's just a matter of him making that first move, most likely.
It could be a while then.
Society and all that. Yeah, well.
I say that though. He used to date that singer.
Singer?
The musician. She plays instruments. I shouldn't just call her a singer. Vivian.
Oh. Huh.
Surely that's not new information. Surely you knew that.
No. That's new to me.
Well, then you didn't hear it from me.
What interesting webs we spin with Vivian and Mikael and a few others and I all being Bayorn men.
It is interesting to see who all was drawn together. Do you have another question?
How long are you going to be in Abbey Shores, or how long do you anticipate being in Abbey Shores? I'll put it like that.
Perhaps a week or so. There's a few variables that could potentially extend it, but it's most probable that we won't be here that long.
Interesting. And just here to interview Michael's closest cohorts.
Oh, and to visit with him. We haven't spoken in quite some time.
Would you like to go do that? It might take some of the shock away if I am with you, or make more shock. I'm not sure.
Oh, well, I don't expect you to keep our little conversation here a secret or anything.
Oh no, I meant. Did you want to go see him like right now, or did you want to?
Oh no. I have other people to see while I'm in town.
I see.
At this point, you're walking up to your building.
Mm-hmm. It's my building. It's not much, but it'll do. You know, the floor kind of reminds me of when I enlisted.
You're saying your apartment reminds you of the bunks?
Yes.
Or barracks. Barracks is what they call it.
Barracks. Well, it's not that the apartments are bad. It is. I made an effort to make it more familiar.
Hmm.
It's the beds. They're all. So I feel like I'm gonna sink in at any minute.
Just imagine there's a hammock.
Yeah. I have the nice guest bed for if someone ever comes in. But I just sleep in a cot.
She goes, I've heard of others like that, particularly people that dealing with shell shock.
Possibly.
Well, it was very nice to meet you, Salvador.
And you as well. And he'll go to, the dainty little handshake.
Yeah, she shakes your hand. And then she turns around and she starts walking down. And as she approaches this parked car, a guy gets out, comes around, opens the door for her, and she gets in. It's a fairly nice car.
This is what, like late afternoon?
Where everybody else split up in the afternoon, and then you sort of hung around the office trying to make yourself a target.
Yeah.
So I imagine it's dark. By the time you get to the apartment, I imagine it's gotten dark.
Gotcha. Okay. Do I know if my landlady has a phone?
Yes. You know that she does, and it's she just got it in her apartment, which is also kind of the office.
Yeah. I'll go head over her way.
Okay. Miss, what was her name? Primrose, I remember, but
Mama Primrose. Myrtle.
That's right, Myrtle Penrose. So yeah, you knock on the door. Myrtle answers. Oh, hello, Mr. Salvador.
Hi. Good evening. I'm sorry I didn't mean to come in so late. May I use your telephone?
Oh, I suppose so. Is it the Orin business?
Sort of. Potentially, I'll say. Potentially Bjorn business.
Okay. She takes you, she takes you over to the little desk that's sitting on.
Thank you so much. And he'll, while he's here, leave his rant.
Oh, that's a little early, but
yeah. I like being punctual.
And I like renters that don't give me any trouble.
Good. We like each other. We can keep this arrangement going for a while longer.
Yes,
and then
she would like to have two of you and get rid of one of her other renters.
I will go and call Michael.
All right. Michael, when you left the office, where was it you went?
He went to work.
Oh, that's right.
I know both his numbers, so I'm going to just alternate.
Okay. We're going to cover what he did in the meantime, then we'll get back to you. All right, so you go to work and you're starting to get slightly more serious cases. You're not completely out of the doghouse, but
Yeah.
and there is lots of talk about the fight with the Invisible Men. Very few people come and talk to you about it. You just hear a lot of whispering as you walk by, kind of.
Yeah.
Your boss at some point does pull you aside to let you know that obviously anyone who gets charged, any investigation into this case, of course, you since you're involved in the goings on, you would not be allowed to work on the case.
Yeah.
Also, since Miss Voss's name has come up, it's probably best that we keep you off the case as well.
Probably, yes.
Hopefully the mayor has about forgotten about you by now, but
I doubt it.
Well, let's not remind him that you're here anyway.
Yeah.
And other than that, he actually quizzes you a little bit on the Invisible Man. He has been hearing rumors about a group like that.
Yeah, he'll tell him what he knows.
Okay. Let's see.
He doesn't exactly try to hide anything about him, really.
He does ask you if you can share with him where you've got that guy stashed. He feels like
I cannot.
He understands the whole. There's obviously leaks in either the police department, he goes, or possibly our office. But he feels like more than just one person should know where this guy's at. One person like in the official, in an official capacity.
Well, there are several people who know where he's at. However, I am considering we were followed on the way there. There's no telling who works for whom anymore, considering we were in the middle of the police department.
That's fair. If they got on you that quickly, that there's probably somebody at that department then that's bent.
Quite.
Or maybe he'd say bought and paid for. I don't think bent was a term yet. He doesn't seem happy about being kept in the dark, but it's like he kind of gets it. So. And then in the early evening, not too long before you would be packing it up to head home, you get a call from Salvador.
This is Michael speaking.
He who remembers.
Hello, Salvador. How can I help you?
I just thought you would. I just thought you'd like to know your sister's in town.
What?
That's how I knew your title.
And I thought you were just making a play on. Okay.
No, that was actually anyway.
So she's here.
Yes. What was his name? Adam? Also here.
The phone gets set down on the desk for a moment.
Michael?
Loud screaming from the other end for a moment.
Like
there's a very, very solid crashing noise. Which to the people in the office, it's his head just going into the desk.
Michael.
He's trying to concuss himself to get out of work.
He's trying to isekai himself. Quick, stop him!
There's a few more thuds.
Several people in the office are looking at you now. It's okay. It's okay, Michael. It's almost quitting time.
Thank you.
Michael, you good?
I could have sworn you just told me both of my siblings are in town.
That is what I told you.
Are you drunk?
Are you drunk?
I might about have to be to get through this conversation.
I also, well, I don't want to tell you that on your work phone. Anyway.
That might explain the other bit of news in
Which
the
bit?
paper.
Hmm?
Lovely.
What happened?
The thing that we were sharing the newspaper with on the front page.
Oh, right, the Italians.
Yeah.
Ooh.
No, he's very good at that. He's very good at that.
Anyway, I wanted to give you the courtesy of confirmation.
You know, and to think I was planning on calling her at some point soon. She
Would have been really
Yeah,
funny
this
if
is
you did.
This is something she'd do. This is absolutely something she'd do. Okay. Right. Thank you for letting me know of one of my worst fears coming to life.
She said she anticipates being here for a week, and that's it.
I'd pack bags.
I'm not scared.
You should be.
Well, I will see you at the office then? Question mark.
If I make it there.
You'll make it there.
She has to talk to like
Click.
4 other people first.
And Salvador will get up and be like, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Oh no, it's quite all right. Happy to help. You people are defending the city.
I appreciate that.
What was Myrtle doing the whole time during this conversation?
Just like this the whole time with the popcorn.
No, she stepped into the kitchen. Based on the shadow, she's just barely in the kitchen out of sight.
Like a cup up to the wall. Old
Amazing.
timey
I love it.
hearing aids around the corner.
The tea that she was pouring is overflowing.
And he gives her a knowing look and it's like I said, potentially Bayon business. We'll see. You have a wonderful evening.
Oh, you too? I hope the
And
potential
he'll-
business works out all right.
And
It's always a
then he
shame when
will-
families don't get along.
Indeed. And he will, if Mr. Penrose is in, he'll nod his head that way. And
Actually, you see her brother in the hallway as you're leaving.
okay.
You know he doesn't live in the building.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Penrose, I didn't see you.
What was his name?
Adam?
Abraham.
That's right, Abraham Penrose. Jolly looking guy, little glasses. Oh, Mr. Salvador, wasn't it?
Yes.
Pleasure to see you again.
Pleasure to see you as well. I was just leaving. I just had to. I paid my rent for Miss Myrtle.
Oh, early. She's gonna love that.
She did. You have a wonderful evening, sir.
Oh, you too.
And he'll head out. He'll start making towards the office.
You just got home from the office.
And yet,
weren't y'all planning to meet up in the next morning or something?
I don't remember. I the player don't remember.
Or maybe I'm just thinking about Vivian's breakfast date with Auntie Jen.
I think that's what you're thinking of.
All right, Vivian. When you left the office, where were you going? What were you doing?
She would drop by the club to make sure, to let the boss know I probably won't be playing instrument for at least a week or so.
You show him now. He's like, "Oh, that's terrible."
It should heal okay. I just don't want to risk it not healing okay.
Oh yeah. Are you still good to sing?
Yeah, they didn't go for the throat. I could probably do some piano. I don't know about any bow work though.
Well, you can test it. Next time
Yeah,
you and the boys are practicing, you can test it and see how it feels. But as long as you can sing, the fellas in the band can cover the all the
yeah.
instruments they need to.
All right.
And like you get there, it's late afternoon, so the place is technically open, but they're not doing much business. But as you turn to leave, there is a fella sitting at the bar.
Is he the size of a refrigerator, Jason?
He is.
Well,
But
dang! How about
he
that?
smiles and kind of lifts, kind of tilts his drink at you or whatever.
There's a little bit of an eye narrow just because of the similarities between the two in the face.
You notice a resemblance pretty quickly.
Yeah, she just kind of catches herself and kind of nods and smiles back. Looks over back at the boss, so her back is facing the refrigerator at the bar. I haven't seen him around before.
Yeah, he came in about an hour ago.
Big guy.
Oh, he's huge.
Maybe he's part troll.
I don't know. He's not that hairy.
Maybe he shaves.
Oh, what would a troll look like shaved?
Those are thoughts I don't. I take back that statement. I didn't want that thought.
I'm sorry, you all say that just reminds me of a Warhammer meme. It's about as bad as a great unclean one cleaned. I'll post a. It's so
Like a
dumb.
sphinx cat.
It's
It's like a raw chicken.
it's just a dude.
It's just a dude.
Just a dude. Well, swing back around during practice. Let's see what I can manage. What's their practice schedule tonight? She would know this. The player does not know this. The character would totally know when practice was.
Well, they'd practice up during the day
Mm-hmm.
because they'd be working most nights.
There you go, enjoy.
I have a feeling.
Oh, they just like took all of the parts off the model. Interesting.
But
I shall agree with Jason on this.
but
Sorry, anyway.
so yeah, you finish talking to the boss, and he's concerned both because you got injured and because it's going to affect business. But but okay, you can
I can
still
still sing in a week or two. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'll make sure to soak it, all that. Keep compression and all that.
Yes, that's a dangerous side gig you've got.
Don't worry, I have a very aggressive sprite that is trying to convince myself and others to behave a bit more as far as not getting injured.
Ah, good. And then he gets distracted by some problem. Something wasn't delivered, or they had the wrong food delivered, or
She will make her way out.
the big guy stands up.
She clocks it, but Doesn't
no,
move to engage.
He's moving over like, he's got his drink.
Fantastic.
He's moving over like he wants to talk to you. Hey, Sheba, let me buy you a drink.
I'm sorry, I buy my own.
That's fine. It's cheaper for me.
Actually, on my way out, I have an appointment. Maybe some other time.
Oh, but I came all the way from Chicago to meet you. Well, not just you and your friends.
Face calm, internal Kill Bill sirens, because there's a lot of stuff that happened in Chicago.
He takes a sip, holds out his hand. Holds out his other hand. Adam Anderson. I think you know my brother pretty well.
I've met your brother, yes. He's part of the Bjorn.
Pretty sure you knew him before then.
We do go back a number of years, yes.
He has got this little shit-eating well, nothing about this man is little, but smirk. He's got a smirk.
In comparison to the rest of him.
Just a quiet corner going up.
I just imagine him being Kingpin from Spider-Verse. Just
yeah.
I don't think he's quite that big.
But
pretty close.
Look, me and my sister, we've just come to town. We're trying to reconnect with our brother. We're just taking an opportunity to speak to some of his friends.
Gives a puzzled look. If you're trying to reconnect with him, why would you speak to his friends first versus going directly to him?
It's been some years. We want to get a feel for, I guess how he will react. I mean, obviously, you guys are going to tell him that we talked to you, so it'll way to let him know that we're in town without it just showing up on his door. Hey, here we are.
Judging by what I know about you and your sister and your brother and your various gifts, I believe you would know exactly how he would react to you, given your various gifts and relations.
The last time we saw him, things went very poorly. But the members of the family actually responsible for all that, they're gone. Me and Rach, he ran off to do his own thing. We let him do his own thing. But the little hubbubaloo recently sort of drew our attention to him. And everything else weird going on in this town, Rachel just thought it'd be a good time for us to talk to him, see how he's doing.
Oh, I'm sure after all these years you know his address. I suggest you approach him. I don't think he would take kindly to you and your sister going roundabout and talking to his friends behind his back.
Hell, behind his back. That's not a good way to put it. We're not being sneaky about it. Heck, woman, I gave you
Just
my full name.
because the description in the face alone would have given me enough. You said you were taller than him and built like a refrigerator. And here you are. She's 5'6", so she's motioning up.
She's like reaching up to touch the bottom of his chin.
Like, let me get a stool. She's like, man, I know how Lilac feels now.
I think that's bad. Imagine what Lilac would feel next to him.
Lilac's like, no. He's all shoulders, though. It's very convenient.
So there's no way I can convince you to just sit down and have a conversation.
There is a very internal, drawn-out sigh. She walks over to the bar and orders something non-alcoholic.
Were Shirley Temples a thing?
They probably have some kind of tea or lemon water for people that are working or something like that.
That's true.
I remember because I got bored and I looked it up. A lot of bars turn into ice cream parlors during
Yep.
this time.
I would like a chocolate shake.
Oh, that's right. And this is a regular old club, so they wouldn't have the alcohol.
If they have a
readily
chocolate
available.
shake, she is ordering a chocolate shake. Or a chocolate malt.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Though they probably would still have the Coke with actual Coke in it.
Probably.
Uh,
To Google.
not that
This other
important.
was
Not that
getting
important.
wired right now.
Uh, so, so he leans back, elbows on the bar. Hey, yeah. So Rachel tells me, that you're from here, but had been in Chicago for a while.
That is correct.
And then you came back.
I did.
Rachel was saying before you left that there had been a time when you and Michael were seeing each other socially.
There was. Nothing came of it.
You didn't hear this from me. But Rachel may be here to play matchmaker a little bit.
There is a 1,000-yard stare at the bar.
Just, I think she should leave the man alone to, find whoever he wants, but,
Why would she care, honestly?
Well, he is
She
our
had
brother.
no. Yes, but it's been how many years, and you're both showing up in the unannounced to play matchmaker.
Well, if we announced it, he might, skedaddle.
I don't think there's much might about it.
Well, he's got some responsibilities in the city. He was always the kind of the stickler for that sort of thing. He's not seeing that little cutie that works for him, is he?
I believe his relationship with Dorothy is purely professional and almost sibling.
Okay.
If not sibling, almost sees her as a charge or more of a fatherly figure.
She's a responsibility for him. Okay, that makes sense.
From what I understand, Dorothy's brother and him were friends. And when he passed, he made a promise to watch over her, and that is what he's doing.
See, that's another reason he might not run out of town.
Or he may just gather everyone and run from town.
I don't know. Rachel's the one that does the planning. If she thought this approach is the way to go, it's probably the way to go. But she went, she's the one that suggested we meet some of y'all before we finally talk to him.
Yes, because giving him a feeling of foreboding, I'm sure will go over immensely well.
If nothing else, it'll be funny.
I look of like, okay, yeah, siblings. Didn't have those. I guess that's correct.
You have siblings?
She's 3!
She's still a sibling.
She's 3!
Poor Heise.
And she just learned about her
Poor Heise.
within the last couple months. Well, she acknowledged her, but she's like, this is a toddler. This is a full toddler. I cannot have discussions about fashion and boys with her.
Well, you can, but they're going to be very different from the conversations you'd have with Dorothy or somebody. Or Lilac.
Yes. Actually, she would have to somehow breach the walls of her family's house.
Just barely hanging in the window to Hyacinth's bedroom. So, tell me about the little boys at school. Oh, cooties, you say?
Okay. I'm going
You
to
know-
show you how to shoot a man. Come here.
You know how to breach the walls of your family's house? Tell Adam about Kool-Aid Man.
Look, Mr. Refrigerator, I need some help here. I need a doorway right here.
Uh, but let's see, what else would he want to know? He asks you if Michael has any other friends, or if he's just all work. And now that he's one of you foreign people, it's like work and then second job work.
We would consider the Bjorn as friends, and I don't delve too much into his personal life.
What kind of friend are you if not delving into his personal life?
I considered one. He plays a lot of stuff close to the chest, considering his past.
It's always going to come back to that.
It is a large portion of his formative personality. Humans with a gift, typically, at least in this area, aren't well received.
That's why
Other
he needs.
humans will typically treat them about as well as they will treat strange folks, which, depending on the area of town, not great.
Yeah, they don't treat us too bad in Chicago. They know that wouldn't be
Gee,
wise.
I wonder why.
Hello, Mr. Train. How are you?
Yeah, all right. I was supposed to be meeting his buddies. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Now, there's very little to know. Born and raised here, briefly spent some time in Chicago, returned here, and here I am.
Rich had said something about you got hitched.
Briefly. It's why I'm back here.
Hey, I'm not judging.
Unless it continues to price, she leaves it at that.
I mean, obviously I would be concerned if you were, cozying up to my brother and there was like a husband in the picture. That can add all kinds of complications. Ask me how I know.
I could just imagine. But there is no husband involved. I am legally divorced.
No, you just nodded. So I guess your folks are here in town?
Yes, I was born and raised here. They also remain here.
Oh, so you moved back home to be close to the folks. Yeah, that makes sense.
Just doesn't give an affirmative or negative answer on that. It is a familiar area, and there's some comfort in familiarity.
Yeah. About that, by then y'all are basically finishing your drinks. He's like, well, I won't keep you all day.
She hesitates and's like, it's been a pleasure meeting you.
Oh, well, it was a very pleasant meeting you.
Leans in a little bit closer. And, of course, just for the record, you may be 7 foot tall. But if you do anything to harm him, I will find a way to take off about 4 feet and walks out the door.
You-
Off the,
there is a
these.
deep laugh behind you. Oh, Michael likes some spunky.
She's shaking her head, walks back towards her apartment building, and Michael's probably already left work, but she's gonna try calling Michael as well. Because she doesn't know about the sister and Salvador and
Uh-huh.
All right.
Just imagine it's like he gets off the phone with Salvador.
yeah, like just as he's
Ring!
hanging up, it rings again.
Michael speaking.
Eh. So Michael, you've had time to
Figure out if you're
Process.
concussed or not.
well, yeah. On second thought, we'll come back to that call in a minute. Let me jump over here to our medically oriented sorts. Leo.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, let's see. You weren't here last week, right?
Last 2 weeks, correct.
Okay. That's right. You were sick. I remember now. So you spent most of the day working your practice. Part of being a shaman, you have to spend a lot of time kind of doing the shamanic type stuff.
Yep.
In your case, in the 1920s modern equivalent, that's running your unlicensed medical practice. So you have a client come in. Let's see what species would make sense. I guess we'll go human because there's a fair number of humans in and around the neighborhood. And the poorer ones come to you rather than the hospital because sometimes they can just barter with you.
Yeah.
So a lady comes in with her daughter. The daughter's 17, 18, somewhere through there. She's pale. The mother's telling you how she hasn't had any energy. They're just not sure what's wrong. They want you to check it out.
All right. Let me get down to character sheet. In this case, would it be just straight medical in this instance?
Yeah, this would be medical as opposed to like first aid.
Okay, let me get back to that. All right, that's a success.
You start looking around. You're checking her vitals. You're having her kind of explain, what's happening. She talks about fatigue and this and that, and the other. The ideal that she is like she's anemic.
Huh.
That's just how all the symptoms are lining up. You about to say
Check
something?
her neck for puncture marks.
Yeah, that was getting to that point. One thing also, I also asked the mother may actually do a more thorough inspection, basically saying we'll have to go behind the curtain, double check the areas.
Mama's like, what areas are we needing to check?
Nothing in what you're talking about that instance, but she will need to remove more of her clothing.
Well,
Which is why I'm asking you to. This is why I'm actually explaining it directly to her.
Give me a. Wait, that's not what I needed. Right. The well, if I can find me a character sheet to pull up to look at. Mental not perceptions, manipulations, maybe. Oh,
I
communications.
also
Here we
have
are.
persuade.
Persuade. That is what I'm thinking of.
Okay.
I was
Also one of my
completely
lower
drawing the blank
stats.
on what the skill was called.
Nope. But I will actually explain to her, if you are uncomfortable with this, then I will not.
Maybe she could look and you just tell her what it is she's looking for.
All right. I also basically have her step behind there and I'll kind of walk her through her. First, I ask for any odd markings.
Okay, so she's like you got her looking around the neck, basically.
Yeah, neck, arms. Yes.
Should the woman have her? Nothing around the neck, but up on her upper arm, kind of on the inside of her upper arm. The mother does talk about there's like a big bruise there. And, it's a little swollen.
May I inspect it?
Oh yes, please. And she's got everything. She's got her daughter's arm like out of that sleeve, but everything is
Yeah.
wrapped up to the mother's standard. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Two things I want to check. Again, it would probably be either it's first aid or medicine, see if it's anything mundane. And occult to see if it's not.
All right, give me a medicine roll.
Ooh. Hopefully my occult roll. See, and how much? I'm going to try occult next, but I may be willing to spend some PowerPoints to reroll.
Okay. You can you can decide that after you make the roll.
Yeah. Now I made the occult roll.
So yeah, on the medicine roll, it's a fail, so it looks like a bruise. Lots of things, anything could cause a bruise. She could have,
Yeah.
just bumped it on something. Especially if she's anemic. She could bruise more easily because of that. On the occult thing, there is a major like vein or arteries that run through the arms, so that's kind of a thing.
I'm gonna put on my glasses and check something.
Okay. All right, and the glasses were the fetish that you had.
Identify magic or detect magic.
All right, let me look up detect magic and see just what that gives you. All right.
Nope.
Use the chin object.
Oh, I am gonna probably have to spend a reroll on that because I want to make sure we get that one.
All right, I believe that's 5 power points.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead and check those off, and you can make your reroll.
Oh, not my night.
No, no. Uh, so yeah, so you're not detecting anything weird. Uh, you hear the mother ask the daughter how how she had that bruise, and yeah,
Whereas,
she doesn't remember. She must have bumped it on something.
and I also kind of asked her, since she is anemic, I asked, do you basically do you are you employed?
Well, you're asking the daughter this.
Yes. To see
Oh
if
yes,
basically I'm
she
asking,
works housekeeping at a hotel.
which
And she rattles
one?
off. She rattles off which one. It's up in a slightly, uh, not the really nice part of town, but nicer than down here.
Yes.
Uh,
Interesting.
so her mom's like, "I said, is there anything you can give her? I mean, we don't, anemia doesn't run in the
Well,
family or anything. It's nothing she's dealt with before."
uh, let me give me one other thing real quick. Go down to see. Oh, okay. So that's not a knowledge skill, is it?
What are you looking for?
Science,
Okay, what are you sciencing?
pharmacy.
Oh, okay.
Basically, at least something to help her with the anemia in this instance.
Uh, so yeah, iron supplement sort of, if they've got the money,
Yeah,
they can buy an iron supplement, or you start rattling off food she could eat,
correct.
more meat in her diet, that sort of thing, things that would have iron. And that's about all you can do for her. Other than maybe set it up where she comes in regularly so you can keep checking her, and
That's actually one thing I do want to do.
yeah.
So I want to make. I just want to, considering you say there's no history of this in your family, I'm curious if it might be environmental. That's why I asked about the employment. But if not, just basically please schedule. I'll basically set up another appointment so I can basically keep track of her
Okay.
progress.
Uh, so yeah, mom makes an appointment with you for like the middle of the next week.
Yeah.
Because you got to give a little bit of time to see if the supplements are helping or whatever. And obviously if anything gets worse, they'll contact you.
Thank you. Now here is and as they leave, that's the one thing that pops into my mind. I actually write down basically that hotel she works at,
Okay.
because the fact, while I could not detect anything, the fact that it may actually have been occult in nature or other in nature, I want to actually do some further investigating.
Okay. Oh yeah, got to remember to put the 19 in front of 20s. That was not a problem when I was a kid. Uh,
Be patient with me. I was born in the last century.
yep. How hard is it for to just give me a list of freaking hotel names from the 20s?
Hotels established in 1920.
The Grand Imperial.
There we go.
So she works at the Grand Imperial. Leo's never been there. Leo has heard of the place.
That's okay. That's in Peoria.
There's one in Uganda. I think it's a name that's been used periodically in various places.
Yeah.
Anyway. And the rest of the day, you have a lot more just kind of mundane stuff. Though in addition to medical stuff, every now and then people come to you about things like haunted houses. That's
And
usually strange folk that show up for that. The humans just look at you as a medical guy. Where the strange folk glom on more to, he's a shaman. This is just, how you shaman these days.
And Bjorn,
Yeah.
And I'll like any house, the haunted houses or anything like that, I will document just in case, because it might be real, might be not.
Yep.
We don't know.
And their stories aren't like they're getting thrown. It's little stuff. Like you'd hear in a haunted house story these days. Well, some stuff got moved. Where there's some weird noises. Where it sounds like there's voices in the next room, but when I walk in, there's nobody there. That kind of stuff. Charlie.
Yes.
So over the last few days, you've been working pretty constantly at the hospital. So you haven't been able to run around with Bjorn doing much. But today there's been a big kerfluffle. There was a patient that died. And now their body's missing out of the morgue.
Oh my lord.
And this was a patient, when you were doing your rounds that you had checked in on, they seemed to be recovering. And then, just passed away passed away the night before.
Mm-hmm.
Or let's see, no, night before last. They were sitting in the morgue. They were getting ready to do a full they were planning to do a full autopsy. Try to figure out what had happened. And when they went in this morning to do the autopsy, the body was gone.
Okay.
Since it was a patient on the kind of one of the floors that you're that you were taking care of, you're being kept in the loop, but
Okay.
And it's just getting to the point now. At first they're like, okay, somebody got mislabeled and put in the wrong place. All right, well, let's check and make sure we didn't actually send this one off somewhere. And now they're getting to the point of where they're the usual stuff that this might turn out to be, they've kind of eliminated, and now they're just, throwing their hands up. How have we lost a body? The head of the hospital is about to have to, notify the police about this.
That's not good. All right, let's see. So that just was Charlie in any of trying to help them look for the body?
If she wanted to take time away to do that, from her rounds to do that, she could.
Yeah. What do I roll? Track?
Give me. Track might come up eventually, but foist.
Okay.
This would be perceptions. Give me a spot check.
Spot check. Okay. Special.
Nice.
Okay, I guess I will tag this, right?
Just check it and then you
Yes,
can roll
yeah,
it after.
definitely check.
That's what I meant. Yeah. That's what I meant by tag.
Yep.
So at one point you head down to the morgue and you're looking around. Of course, you're looking at the there's a little wall with metal doors and the things that roll out that the body would sit on.
Yeah.
I think that pretty standard design has probably been used for a long time. So you go down and you look at the paperwork. Right, this is the one he's supposed to be in, supposed to have been in. You reach open, you grab the handle, the door swings open. With your special, you notice immediately you didn't actually have to lift the handle. Because the handle is one that you would grab it and then you would kind of lift it up to unlatch it, and then it would open. Which causes you to look inside and you realize the latch is broken. In fact, the door's got just a little bit of a bend in it.
Interesting.
Like it was, like it's bowing out from the inside.
Going out from the inside, so like somebody opened it from the inside.
Well, that would be one explanation. It would take somebody pretty strong to do that.
Okay. Not out of the realm, but okay.
That's fair. Some orcs that could probably do it. Anything bigger than that, though, much bigger than that, wouldn't fit in the thing. It's made for human-sized people.
Okay. Huh. And the person that was body napped or whatever, was it a human?
Yes, it was a human.
Was a human, okay.
Human, male, Donovan Smith.
Okay. Okay. Trying to think what else, because maybe the area's already been cleaned. Things like that.
Yeah, you do know the janitorial staff comes through here nightly and cleans the place. Are you gonna tell anybody else about what you found? Or?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, you were to say something.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna see also if I can look to see if there was anything probably else, maybe broken.
Okay. You got a special, so you start looking around the rest of the place. What you find, like in the next room, which it has some lockers. It's the people that work the morgue. This is where they keep their scrubs. So they have lockers for their own stuff. You do find a broken locker.
Oh, okay.
The door was standing ajar. When you looked at it, yeah, the latch was like it had been. Looks like it had just been pulled open. Now the latch on this was not as strong material or whatever as the one in the actual morgue. But, and looking inside, There's a tie. And trying to think what all the medical people would keep in there. There's not like a change of clothes in there like there would normally be.
Okay. Okay. Anything else that my character would notice?
Oh, that's probably all you would get from this area.
Okay.
And like in a lot of hospitals, the morgue is kind of down in a basement level.
Yeah. With that, then I will let the people that have been looking, the head of the hospital and everything, tell them what I found.
Okay, he finds the damaged morgue door to be interesting. But he's like, even if there was a person in there, they shouldn't be able to push hard enough to, bang on it to get somebody's attention. Sure, but that's just weird. The locker, he doesn't see where the locker is related. Obviously he'll need to get somebody. He needs to get somebody here to repair that. But do we know whose locker it was?
That's actually what Charlie was gonna ask, if he knew whose locker this was.
It had a little name thing on it.
And whose
Daniel
name
Quick.
was Daniel Quick. Okay. And would Charlie know who Daniel Quick is?
Give me an ideal roll. It's up
Ideal?
there. It's the one next to your intelligence. Basically, it's an intelligence roll.
Okay. Let's see. Intelligence. Idea. Okay. Normal.
Yes, just normal. Because you've met everybody.
I succeeded.
Everybody in this hospital. It's just a matter of, do you remember this specific guy?
Yep.
Yeah, he's one of the morgue techs. You don't know him super well, but enough to exchange pleasantries. You haven't seen him for the last day or two. But, it's a big hospital. There's lots of people you haven't seen in the last day or two.
She can check his signage sheet to see if he was.
Yeah.
He was not scheduled to work for the last 2 days. He's had these 2 days off. He should be coming in this evening, though. Basically, he'll be working the night shift tonight.
Okay. So this has just been, the body's been missing for the past 2 days, right?
He died 2 nights ago. So he was in the morgue. He was in the morgue last night. And when they came in this morning, nobody.
All right. And she was and Charlie in what, a day shift, right?
Right.
Okay. Then I guess she might come back later on, and somewhat in close to maybe a little bit after the beginning of his shift.
Okay. All right, let me jump over to Teak then. Where did Teak go when he left the office last week?
Well, when he left the office, I assume he had to go to work.
He was at work most
Oh,
of the
that's right.
Mm-hmm.
The
Alright.
abomination of that one guy's car.
Yeah, remember the museum of parts for this one guy?
Don't know how he does it. He just keeps
How the
doing
hell?
it.
Then there was a bullet in the Model T that he had to fix a radiator for.
Yep. Yeah, because the guy had been saying it was probably just some debris off the road got kicked up by the vehicle in front of me.
Yeah, and Teak rolled a very good mechanical roll, and it was like, that's not a bullet.
And then pulled the bullet out. I was like, yeah, it's quite some debris.
I do believe that's wrong.
So do you keep talking to that guy while you're fixing this thing, or?
The guy whose car, I assume that he walked away with his boss because his boss told him to just go ahead and start working on
That's right, because he was talking to the boss first. You're right.
it. Mm-hmm.
So you hear him and the boss talking. Apparently he works at the docks.
Okay.
Not your
He'll keep-
boss.
he'll
the
keep it-
The kid with the car.
Yeah, he'll keep his ears open at that. Do I need to roll a listen, or are they close enough to where I don't have to?
They're close enough. And it's
Okay.
just your boss making small talk with a client while you do some work.
Gotcha.
Apparently, it's not the guy that brought it in. It's not his car. He's like the driver for it.
Okay.
Works at the dock in an early shift, and in the evening he apparently drives the car for some of the union guys.
Gotcha.
And at that point, the conversation it derails as your boss doesn't have a lot of use for unions, and it's just sort of them talking politics back and forth about the pros and cons.
Yeah. And Teak just rolls his eyes and it's just like tightening a bolt.
You're pretty sure your boss would fire you all if you tried to unionize. But eventually you finish up for the day. I mean,
Yeah.
You basically have to change that guy's radiator out.
Yeah, just change out the radio. I think you said something about the tire being blown out or something like that. Had to change the tire.
Yep, I forgot about that. It was the cosmetic repairs that were gonna be something you have to order apart.
We'd have to order a part for the cosmetic, like grill or whatever, and
yeah, and he goes ahead and tells you to do that. As you're leaving work, give me a spot check.
Okay. Where did it go? There it is. Nope. Teek's just walking to his car.
All right. As you get to your car, another car pulls up behind your car.
And I assume it makes it to where he can't get out.
He'd have a hard time backing up, yeah.
Okay. Teek like just he looks in the mirror. He hops out and he looks. It's like, can I help you?
The driver of the car is a orc in a pinstripe suit.
Teek tilts his head.
He just looks at you, and the orc kind of points over his shoulder to the back of the car.
He'll go to the back of the car.
As you're walking up, the back car window is rolling down, and a female kobold head pokes out.
Is it Lillian?
It's Lillian.
Hi, Lillian.
Hi, Teek. Sorry to drop by where you're working, but I thought I remembered that you usually got off this time of day.
Yeah, is everything okay? looks at the orc, and then looks back at Lillian.
You don't recognize a specific orc,
Yeah.
but he looks like he's probably just one of the drivers.
Okay.
Not everybody, well, it's the 20s. Not everybody trusts ladies driving. Period. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But also the whole sit on a bunch of books thing that Teak does. Other people are less comfortable with that.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I just hadn't seen you. Hadn't seen you in a while. I was wondering how you were doing.
Doing well.
I tried swinging by your apartment, but apparently you'd moved.
Yeah. After what happened, I kind of decided not to be in that apartment for now. So are you just out for a leisurely drive, or?
Well, no, I came here to see if I could, find out how you were doing.
No, I'm fine. Is she acting suspicious? Can I insight her?
Sure, go ahead.
It's not gonna work. Nope. Not with a 3.
Just use your luck.
Yeah.
Is she acting suspicious?
So no, she doesn't seem suspicious.
Okay. It's like, how's work been?
It's fine. It's work. It's numbers. I'm good with numbers, so I don't mind it. But
You've always been good with numbers, that's for sure. So what? So are you just out to see me, or you out to do something else?
no. I was just going to come by and see how you were doing. And
Okay.
I was just going to walk, but they insisted I take a driver.
Oh, I mean,
I guess that's fair enough with stuff getting tense like it is.
yeah, especially after what happened to the Italians.
Yeah, I saw that. I hope that was nobody down here involved with that.
No idea.
I mean, if they want to shoot themselves up in the north part of the city, that's their business. We've had enough excitement down here for a little bit.
And Teak like scratches his head. He's like, I was actually thinking of going to a diner. Do you want to go with me? Or do you have to get back to work?
That'd be great. Oh no, I'm done for the day.
Okay. And he looks at the orc mobster, like just to see if he's okay with that.
He's kind of like, ma'am, I was supposed to bring you back at some point. She's like, oh, it'll be fine. Teak can drop me off. Oh, you can drop me off, right, Teak?
Yeah, no problem.
And the orc's kind of like,
If it'll make you comfortable, you're welcome to follow me.
yeah, that'd probably be best.
Okay.
So Lillian hops into your car. The orc backs up enough that you can get out.
Yep.
I know. And he'll just follow you to whatever diner you go to.
Our diner.
Oh.
Teak's like, I don't know any other diners that are good, so I'm going to go to that one.
All right. So you go in there with Lillian. The orc comes inside, but just long enough to get some coffee, and then he goes and sits back out in the car.
Teak will pay for him.
He's professional driver. Oh, you pay for his coffee? Oh, well.
Yep.
He tips his hat to you. Thank you.
It's like, do you want a bagel or something? You're welcome to get that too.
Nah, coffee's fine.
Okay.
You see him buy a newspaper from one of the newsies outside. He's just kicked up in the paper on the steering wheel, but low enough that he can, if you pay attention,
He can see it.
You'll see him look up pretty regularly.
Yeah.
Just up.
And Teak will specifically, if there is like a window seat, Teak will specifically sit at the window seat. It's like not my first rodeo. What are you talking about?
So Lillian's asking you how you've been. She read some stuff in the paper. She read in the paper that you got in a fight up north.
And he's like, yeah, I got stabbed.
She's terribly upset and demands, to see how it is. No, she doesn't like
He's just
unbandaged or
it's
anything.
fine.
You know, she's
He's like trying to stop her. He's like, it's fine. I got doctored up. We're okay.
I thought you were good with guns. How did somebody get close to you with a knife?
Alleyway, and he jumped at me.
No. Okay. Weren't any of your friends around? Aren't y'all supposed to watch each other's backs?
Yeah, well, they were in the front. I was in the alleyway. One was
Alone?
inside. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I was just I was looking around, just trying to make sure no one was sneaking up on us, and obviously there was. So, thankfully, there was just one.
What happened to him?
Won't see him again. Just takes a sip of his like Coke.
She nods. She seems to be very excited to talk to you about your Bjorn work.
Yeah, he'll regale her in some of it, but he won't regale her like in the parts that need to be secret,
Okay.
kind of thing. You know, the stuff that's probably been in the newspaper.
Do you mention the mermaid?
Yes, Teak will
She's
mention the
very
mermaid.
excited about the mermaid.
It's like,
She
well,
didn't
I
know the
mean,
lake had mermaids.
well, I mean, they're kind of wanting to be secretive, so we're kind of not. We have a meeting place, but we try to not go there as often if we can.
Oh, okay.
Sure, she'd love to meet you, though.
Oh, could I?
She looks over at the orc mob and she's like, probably won't want to get too far away, obviously.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. I'll have to find some way to sneak away at some point. Not today, but at some point in the future.
How about yours? Has your work been upset or anything about recent happenings?
Not too bad. I just keep up with the money going in and going out, and making sure the books look right.
He chuckles at look right.
It is what it is.
Yep.
I know I'm sure we brought this up before, but would Capone be in prison yet?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I think it was in the 30s when he was actually caught.
Yep, 31. So
At
just
least.
barely. Okay.
Yep. So Al Capone is still a thing, I think.
Yeah. In Chicago.
Mhm.
So no problem for y'all. He's the least scary thing from Chicago that could show up.
Sorry, I wanted to come see you when I sent Miss Lilac, but as you probably know, I want to try and stay away from there as much as I possibly can.
Yeah, it makes sense. I need to start. I need to start whining at him to see if I can get an apartment somewhere else.
Well, I mean, it's up to you, but you're one of their top accountants, so
Yeah.
they probably won't want you to be too far away.
Yeah, and after that previous incident, yeah, I'm probably never getting away from him. I don't mind the work. They treat me nice. But, like, you don't want to live where you work. It's just,
How far is Teek's apartment from there?
It's a ways. I mean, it's not a long drive by any means.
Yeah. I think my apartment building has some openings, but as I said, I don't know if they'd let you leave after the last accident. Oh, he will mention that that the about the whole letter in his apartment and how the orc boss like disrespected him by breaking into his apartment rather than leaving it like a normal person.
She's like, yeah, that was probably some kind of power play.
Yeah,
You
Yep,
boys, you
yep.
boys get weird with that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
I say
I
that.
did spit on one of his bodyguards' boots because he punched me and caused me to bleed, so that was fun.
It's like, yeah.
He shrugs.
It is what it is, I guess.
Yep.
So y'all have a pleasant little meal.
Yep.
She wants to set up. She wants to set up another meet. You know.
Teak will be willing. He'll be happy to do it.
She also gives you her personal phone number. She's got a phone in her own apartment.
He's like, "When'd you get this?"
Crap. What was the boss's name?
Marduk.
Marduk. Boss Marduk had it installed. Technically, it's for work, but I'm free to use it. However.
Oh, sure. I mean, I think my apartment building has a phone. If not, there's one outside.
They're really nice to have.
Sure.
I bet you most places will have one for too much longer.
With as popular as they've become, I wouldn't doubt it. So is Teek's driving her back? Is that what the plan was?
That's what she
Or does
originally said, but then the guy followed, so up to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Teek's like, you know what? I'll take you back. So he'll hop back in the Model T.
All right, so you drive up
You
the
drive
front
it.
door of Marduk's building.
He does not get out. But he does
Really?
says
You
is
gonna
like,
make the
well,
woman open her own door? Oh,
no, he'll open the door for her, I guess.
it's the 20s.
Yeah. So he'll open the door for her. I'm sure he's getting like stink eye from an orc mobster somewhere.
Probably. I mean, they're not super obvious to stand around here.
Yeah. He's like, well, I'm looking forward to our next meeting.
Oh yeah, me too.
And
It's nice to.
if
It's
you
nice to
figure
hang
out a
out
way
with
to,
other, It's nice to hang out with another kobold.
I agree. There's not many of us in this town,
Not a ton.
but if you figure out a way to get out, let me know.
Oh, I will do it. I've got your.
He will give her his address, but he will ask her not to tell anyone else. He'll do that. He'll do like he'll have written it out on like something on at the diner, and then on the way while the guy's following, he'll hand it to her, so that it's not like obvious that he's giving her something.
Yeah, of course not. And she like takes your pencil or whatever and like writes in some random name above the address.
Oh, okay.
Or Sheila Sparks or something, just some other name.
Yep.
She's been dealing with mobsters a while,
Oh yeah.
Misdirection
Goes a long way.
Mm-hmm.
Teak, against Teek's better judgment, he'll walk her to her door.
So he does go into the building.
He does go into the building, and he will walk her to her door.
Nobody, you get looks from people.
He ignores all of them and just continues to talk to her. Walks her to her door.
So yeah, elevator up. The only, like you're expecting the mobsters' looks, you completely ignore them. The one orc lady at the desk, she had a weird look on her face though. It was kind of a raised eyebrow and a little smirk.
He can kind of guess what she was thinking.
But yeah, you show her to the door. She hesitates for a second, and then she goes inside. Tells you, she looks forward to seeing you again. Goes inside to the store.
Yep. And he makes his way back down.
And you don't get harassed on the way out, either. You're quite certain there are eyes on you until you get in the car.
Does the guy who is her driver follow him, or once he's in the building, does he like go away?
He followed you into the parking lot, and as you're leaving, he's standing around in the foyer talking to some of the other guys.
Okay. He'll walk down. He'll tip his hat to that driver, and then just make his way out, get
Driver
his
gives you a
car, and
number.
just drives away. He gets about halfway home, and he's like, "Why the fuck did I do that?" He just keeps going. He is going to look behind him and make sure no one's following them, though. Is that spot?
Yeah, go ahead, give me a spot.
Nope. By 2.
Nobody's
Yeah.
following you. You're convinced nobody's following you.
Yep. Teak will go to the office.
One moment.
Vindication.
I returned. There was a child.
Oh, good.
It shifted around windows.
Yep. Let me fix that right
Oh,
quick.
did it?
Yep.
Whoops. Sorry.
Oh, good. It happens.
You're good.
But Teak will go to the office and just go inside and make the biggest pot of, or order the largest cup of coffee that the diner has, and go up to the office and just sit there and just chug it.
The lady at the diner was like, "Oh, you're back already?"
Yeah, just largest cup of coffee, please. I'll
Well,
take the troll size if you have it.
You could have this. You could have this thermos as long as you bring the thermos back.
I'll bring the thermos back. He takes it and goes.
You're one of the other businesses in the building, so there's a relationship.
Yeah. Yep. I feel like we've been good to this diner.
Considering, I think we paid them the equivalent of $300 to $600 that one night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael had the high side.
We could probably buy a thermos for off of them.
All right, so you get up there. Michael, as you're getting ready to leave for work, you get the call from Vivian.
Hi.
Yeah, it's phone. It's like, Michael speaking.
I threatened your brother.
Phone on desk.
No, wait,
Boom.
don't.
Cutting noise.
Oh, that's gonna leave a mark on the desk. Just wait. Like, this may have occurred before at some point.
The people in the office here, why are they both here?
Oh, they're both. Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Fix them back up again.
You had one of the other guys in your office getting ready to leave.
Mhm.
Suddenly he remembers something he's still got to do. Sits down, starts going through his papers again. Totally not paying attention to you.
Yeah. that tracks.
I must watch as Michael puts a bruise on his skull.
Like, look, the other people in the office are gonna ask me for the tea tomorrow, and I have to have it.
I gotta watch this man crash out.
Okay.
Somebody has to be here in case he just lights everything on. Oh wait.
Why are they both here? That's interesting. Okay. Both who?
I must
Michael's
know.
cheating on his wife. He has a mistress. They're making up a whole story.
Is he married? Could it be the in-laws?
It's both sets of in-laws.
Never
They're
hear him talk
both
about
here.
his parents. Maybe both of his parents are here.
Knowing him, he thought it was hilarious.
Yes, probably he got a good laugh out of it.
Yeah, that tracks.
I'm guessing since you said they're both here, you already know that your sister is here.
Oh yeah, she had a lovely conversation with Salvador.
Fantastic. I have a feeling this will just go so well.
Mm-hmm. Well, thanks for letting me know.
Don't try to drive after concussing yourself.
I'm fine. There's one thing I picked up from the family. We're significantly hard-headed. Very stubborn.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to the office to make sure nothing's happening there, considering that they knew where I worked. And I don't believe any of you know where I work, so. Reasons to think that maybe they know where the office is too, so I'm going to go make sure that's all in one piece.
Yeah. I should probably head that way myself.
I'll see you there.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Don't murder them on the way there.
He, like, there's an audible, he bites his tongue from saying, "Don't tempt me," because that's a very, like, immediate, like, sibling response to dealing with his siblings that he just remembers. It's like, won't.
Maybe.
So,
Click.
yeah, just Holdick.
This will go very well, and just. She did go back to the building, so she'll ask Lilac to. Or see if Lilac's in the apartment. Or. I'm going to the office. Do you need anything?
No, I'm good. Is there anything happening, or are you just going to the office to go to the office?
Michael's siblings are in town.
I'll get my coat.
She knew that. She kind of knew that would get her attention.
The only thing I can think of is like, I've got my coat. Let's go.
This very small bomber just like making her way.
More of a light
This is a
jacket
blur.
because it is June.
Yeah. And she will make her way to the office.
Just imagining her going by, going, "What's taking you so long? Let's go."
All right.
Lilac is
dare you
already
make me wait.
halfway
Tika's
out the
gone to
office.
the office. Vivian has gone to the office.
Salvador
Salvador's in the office.
has gone back to the office.
Salvador's in the office when they get there.
Yeah, he was close.
Yeah.
Teak you just see Teak walk in with the biggest thermos.
That's almost as
Do you
big
want
as your
some?
stomach. No,
Do you
I'm
want
good.
some? Is it
I'm not-
okay?
no,
And
I'm
just
good.
starts drinking from the thermos.
That thing is almost as big as you are.
Chug,
Yep, and he's
chug,
drinking from
chug,
it.
chug.
All right.
Okay.
Leo, you wrap
And
up for the day.
Yes, I arrive. Probably be the last one to arrive.
Okay.
So
But you're planning to head to the office after work.
yes.
All right. And Charlie, you hang around long enough for Daniel to come in, and he shows up on time like usual. Are you with us, Charlie?
I am here.
Okay. So yeah, you said you were going to wait around for Daniel to show up.
Yeah.
So yeah, he shows up. He goes to his locker, notices it's broken into, and starts complaining that some of his clothes are missing. Is there anything you want to do?
I will ask him like all of his clothes or what exactly was missing, because I will let him know. Well, he works the morgue, and the morgue people know, right?
Yeah. Now he's been off the last 2 days, so he may or may not have heard anything about it.
Yeah.
Because not everybody's
But
got phones. So
No, but I'll let him know. Hey, this is what happened.
so he's like, "Oh, missing a body. Oh, that's not good." Obviously he wasn't here for that. If you tell him about the damaged door, he's weirded out by that.
Mhm.
You don't think the dude woke up in there and busted out, do you?
Anything is possible.
Yeah, but if he did that, why not just ask for help? Why steal my clothes?
unless he woke up and was afraid or something and was just trying to get out.
Yeah, maybe he was just disoriented. I don't know. Has anybody gone and checked the guy's house to see if he just walked home or something?
I have no clue.
Huh. Well, thanks for letting me know. At least now I won't be sitting around wondering what my where my clothes went.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I still am kind of wondering where they went, but yeah. Wonder if I should check and see if anybody else in there's alive.
I mean, you're more welcome to that if that's what you really want to do.
Look, it gets boring at night sometimes. But anyway, thanks for letting me know, Dr. O'Brien.
Mm-hmm.
So after talking to him, is there anything else you're doing at the hospital?
Try to actually see where this guy's house was, because that actually is a good idea.
All right, you can actually go to the crap. I think what the office is. What I don't know if they'd call it a human resource department at the time. But yeah, you can go to some of the more office worker types, and they'll give you his address. It's the 20s. You didn't have a lot of rules about that sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know, a doctor walks in, needs a patient's address. That's not even going to raise an eyebrow. Oh yeah, you go.
Hippo who?
Hippo what?
Hippopotamus.
The medical profession in the 1920s did not know the fear that could be instilled in them by Hippo.
Meanwhile, I mute the mic every time my wife's on the phone or something because I don't want to risk breaking Hippo.
Smart man.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you get that address.
Okay. And that's actually what she's probably gonna do.
Okay. Now you've been working for 2 days straight. Are you going to check in with the Bjorn at all? Keep in mind they've got there is a phone at the office, so you could just call them from the hospital.
Yeah, I'll probably just call and let them know, hey, listen, I am alive. I'll talk to you guys later.
And she was never
That's
heard from
insane.
again.
No, it's madness. She's alive.
The Italians make her disappear.
The Italians was behind it all along.
All right, so you're heading out to that guy's address. Everybody else eventually meets up at the office. Michael is the last one to come in, fashionably late. Just barely behind, or no.
With a bruise on his head.
Leo was working. Leo's probably the last one to get there. He probably said just after Michael.
I check Michael's like forehead and temple area immediately as he comes in. No bruise.
And
No.
while I'm there, I'll also basically go to like the board, put in the push pins of like possible sightings, and also I'll put on one the it was the Imperial Hotel.
Mhm.
Yes.
Grand Imperial.
Grand
Everybody's
Imperial.
walking in. Teek's got a giant thermos he's just drinking from.
That's not alcohol, correct?
No,
Okay.
I haven't drank for a while. Oh wait, no, I had one the other night.
Ah.
Yeah.
And considering the size of the thermos, I walk over, double check his pupils. How fast are they vibrating?
Well, he hasn't finished it yet, so.
He's
No,
like
no.
Fry in that one episode.
Saucer
Yeah.
shaped.
I can believe it.
Salvador seeing everyone kind of idly moving around, like, so did anyone else get visited today?
Oh, you too?
Yeah. Lovely lady.
Hmm.
Wait, who did y'all get visited by?
I just had patience, thankfully, so I assume an incident occurred.
Lillian showed up at my work unexpectedly.
Oh, nice.
Lilac's like,
Oh yes, the other kobold you work
the
with.
other
I remember
kobold
her.
in town.
The other kobold in town. At this
The
moment,
other
there's
one.
only two.
While they're talking, Michael just like literally just walks over, takes the thermos, pours some of it into a cup, hands it back, and starts drinking coffee.
Anyone else?
I'm
I'm
completely good.
good.
He has like 1,000-yard stare right now.
Salvador has a little mug, a little thing of tea that he's drinking.
Did you have a pleasant visit with her?
Oh yeah, it was unnerving, and then it became pleasant because I kind of know what to expect when Michael's siblings come into town. Because we were warned beforehand, and I appreciate that, Michael.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Here we go.
She's like, I was mostly asking about Lillian, but I'm glad your visit was pleasant too.
Oh, okay. My bad.
No, you're
Oh, yeah,
good.
it was pleasant. And then I walked her to her door with mobsters looking at me. Drink.
Oh, you walked her to her door. Well, you walked back out. You're alive.
Yep, I'm sure some of them wanted to shoot me.
But they didn't.
Nope.
That's good.
Just completely platonically walked her to her door.
Just, do you say that?
No. She just kind of has that look, though, like,
The
just
eyebrow
walked her
wag.
to her door?
Yeah,
Lilac
just
probably
walked her
is doing the same thing, like,
Lilac's probably pissed at Teak still because of the
Did you ask her
newspaper.
out again at least?
Yes, we've scheduled another date. Thank you, Lilac.
Okay, all right.
Also, sorry about the newspaper, but she's a grown-ass woman.
Oh,
moving
right.
on.
I'm still mad at you about that.
Glad I could remind you. Sip.
Your
Lilac pulls out an arrow.
if I didn't know any better, I'd say your sister was trying to set you up with somebody. She just kept
Huh?
asking a bunch of questions if anyone was interested in you or if you were seeing someone.
Why would she care?
Passing on the family line? I don't know.
Guess she wants to make you paranoid? I don't know.
Comes around for that.
Huh?
You cut off.
Adam's around for that. You know, my older brother, significantly bigger than me.
Yeah, he's flipping huge.
I heard refrigerator sized, but
Yes.
Yeah, I've probably seen bigger.
You really haven't. At least not on a human. Trust me, you haven't.
I worked with orcs.
He's
Orcs are about
larger than
human
they
size.
Yeah,
Orcs are actually, in this
Yeah.
setting, a little bit shorter than humans.
they're like
Kind
smaller,
of like
but they're
Neanderthals.
wider.
They're a little bit shorter, but also a little bit stockier and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hell, Michael, I want to say, is the tallest one of the group. So
He is, yeah. He's
By a bit.
6'1", I believe. If I
yeah.
scrolling up, yeah, he's 6'1".
I mean, I threatened to take 4 feet off of him. He doesn't need all of the height.
Oh yeah, I bet he loved that.
Made him laugh.
That sounds like him.
You want a refill? He looks over at Michael.
He just takes the thermos
Hey, hold on. Hey, we're sharing that.
later. Chug.
It's just a normal thermos in Michael's hand.
Motherfucker, I paid for that.
He hands him a 5.
Never mind. Cheers.
Your thermos now?
Just remember to turn it back downstairs. We'll be fine.
While they're going back and forth and there's a moment of levity, I'll look over at the cork board that we have going on. It's like, what's all this? I'm looking at Doc.
Leo.
Well,
Yeah.
while I was working this morning, I've had a few people come in, point out that there are possible hauntings, and I point to like basically the possible ones. At the Grand Imperial, on the other hand, I had a woman bring her daughter in who works at the hotel with who's suffering from anemia, and that was the symptom.
Hmm.
Let's just say the bruise that was left on it, I could not identify it medically, but I did identify it through other knowledge.
Like,
I believe it may not be of scientific cause.
you can say the vampire word. That's a word you're allowed to say.
Well,
Or was
well,
it
let's just say
magic? Are you?
I suspect at this point.
Hmm.
I was unable to get a good fix on whether I could not detect any. But the trick is, the bruise location is directly on a major vein in the arm. Whether someone was drawing blood, or other words, via regular means, or just taking it. That's one thing I'm unsure of. I'm going to have her return to the office in a week. But at this point, I just gave her basically a breakdown the standard treatment for anemia.
Iron pills.
And actually have her do a follow-up next week. But at this time, I just wanted this on our chart as a possibility.
Possibly vampires.
Correct.
Great.
We don't have enough problems.
And this is actually Patrick asking, was there any additional follow-up with the sightings of the park? Because I knew they apparently found a boat site where there was obviously being assisted by humans.
Yeah,
I didn't know if there was any.
There's been nothing else about anything brew related since then.
Okay. Just wanted to double check that.
All right, so y'all sitting around the office discussing possibly having more problems to deal with.
Yeah.
So let's jump back over to Charlie. So you were headed out to the patient's home address?
Yes.
Okay. You pull up, the house is sitting there. It is on the map, it would be over in the somewhere kind of between Middleton and Deerwood. It's a little up in the air exactly which of those communities this would fall under. But it's less built up. You got a lot more freestanding houses than apartments or anything in this area.
Mhm.
And it's still kind of middle classy.
Okay.
It's just getting a little dark now, so most of the houses are lit. This house is not lit.
Okay. She would know if the family was told that he had passed, right? If he had family. Is he
They
single?
there was a note in the files that they had been notified. Yes.
Okay.
They were not going to claim the body until after the autopsy was done.
Mm.
There was no note about them having been notified that the body was missing yet.
Okay.
But the hospital was scrambling around to make sure they hadn't just put it somewhere, mislabeled where they put it or something. But
Yeah. Okay. It's gonna be hard to not. They haven't been notified that the body is missing. She's gonna just kind of watch.
okay, so you're gonna stake the place out basically.
Yes.
All right, so you sit there for an hour or two. It was getting kind of dark when you got here, so now it's good and dark. Like I said, other houses on the street are lit up. There's no lights, no visible lights on in this house. Now, according to the records, Mr. Smith was married.
Mhm.
And you see a vehicle parked in the driveway, but you're not seeing any lights on in the house.
Hmm. She's gonna kind of go close and figure out what she can see.
Okay. So you're walking up to the house, or just getting closer to look?
Closer to kind of look.
Okay. All right. So you ease up a little bit closer. Give me a spot
Are
check.
spot check? Okay.
Okay, what were you about to ask?
I'm about to say, are there blinds or curtains in the window?
There are curtains.
So are they closed or kind of open?
Uh, Even or odd? Call
Odd.
it even. No, the living room curtains are closed. It's the other smaller rooms. It's hit or miss.
I got a critical.
Oh, nice. So you're looking around, and another car drives by, and basically from the light of their headlights, you notice that the front door is slightly ajar.
Okay. She's gonna kind of ease her way to the door.
Okay. Give me a sneak stealth, whatever they call it. I assume that's what you meant by ease.
Yeah, I'm trying to find that real quick. Stealth ain't that stealthy. Failed. Yeah, no. I'm not stealthy in the slightest.
Everyone has their strengths and everyone has their weaknesses. There's the skills. Ooh, well, I thought you were going to be up a creek, but maybe not. All right, that was 81. All right, you get up to the door with nothing happening.
Mhm.
Give me a. I believe it's sense.
Sense roll.
I think that's the right one.
Failed. That too. Damn it all.
Oh wait, no, there is a specific listen skill.
Oh, okay. Listen. Ain't no better, but I succeeded on that. Alright, I'm gonna click it.
Yep, be sure to check that one. As you creep up to the door, you can hear something inside. Let's see. Would Charlie have ever been in or around a farm? No, but but in hospital she'd have been around babies.
Yeah.
It almost sounds like it's a little too loud, but it almost sounds like a baby drinking from a bottle.
Hey.
Don't like that.
That's not good.
Alright.
Like I said, the inside of the house is dark at the moment, so you're just
Yeah.
hearing this.
She is an elf. She would have dark vision.
That's right, she would.
Oh
Huh.
yeah, dark vision is a thing.
Like
I have
the
dark
only-
vision, DM.
DM,
Like,
DM have
well-
dark vision.
Yep.
Like the only one in this group that doesn't have it is Michael.
No, Mike.
15 meters in
literally
absolute
only
dark.
one without it.
15 meters in absolute darkness, canceling any negative modifiers to the spot or combat skills due to darkness. Detection of color is almost non-existent, and long-range sight is extremely limited. Each level increases the range by 15 meters, half their POW. Each extra level increases the range by 15 meters.
How do you level up your dark vision?
You know,
Your POW got higher. If your POW
Yeah.
stat got higher somehow, that does not happen very
well,
often though. Unless you're
My
a
POW is
spellcaster.
16, so I don't know how much I can see.
Let's see.
I don't know how each extra level thing works. I don't know if it's like
Yeah, with a POW of 16 though. Yeah. You should have a decent, at least a decent 30 foot. So, inside a house, you'll be able to see anything in a room. But like I said, the door is just slightly ajar, so you'd have to push it open to actually look in.
Alright, yeah, I'm gonna try to slowly push the door in.
All right, give me another stealth.
Failed that. You hear the creak. Big old.
Yep. Just as you peek around the door, it creaks. What you see, there's a woman laying on the floor. There's a man crouched next to her with her arm pulled up to his mouth. That is where you're hearing the sort of baby on a bottle sucking sound.
Yeah.
When the door creaks, his head snaps around. You can't make out the color running down his mouth, on his chin. But it definitely looks wet. And have you ever seen one of those
you
game
literally
cameras?
experienced the first zombie scene from Resident Evil.
You ever seen one of those game cameras? It's the black and white shot, how the animal's eyes always kind of glow in them.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what you're seeing from this guy's eyes.
Okay.
And he seems to see you as easily. He drops the arm and stands up. Dr. O'Brien, wasn't it?
And with that, Charlie's running out the door. Like, out, away from the house.
Reasonable.
Just noping right out, huh?
Noping right out.
we out.
I came, I saw, I run my cow.
What is
Damn, I
Charlie's
saw. I
move?
wish I
Yep.
didn't.
Running to the office.
Not running to your car first?
Does she even have a car? I
I
don't think we ever.
established that she did. I mean, she's a doctor.
Then yeah, running into her car,
All right.
making sure it's
What is
locked, turning
Charlie's
on.
movement? What is Charlie's movement?
Movement. Where's that at? 11.
Ooh. So our vampire friend. I mean, our gentleman in the.
Vampire friend.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Or gentleman that liked gravy of the human variety.
human gravy
I
is
was
the
about to say,
best
we
gravy.
played 2 Worlds of Darkness games. We know what this guy is.
I was like, wait.
Oh, yeah.
Wait. When did we get to
Yeah.
Vampire Masquerade? What are we? What?
Jason, please don't make me run a coterie.
Don't get bit. Well,
It
actually,
all comes back to
actually,
vampires.
it might not affect you because elves are plant based, but
They just suck the cytophil out of us.
Some kind of weird choreopsis.
Yeah.
Nah, as soon as he bites down, he's like, I'm not a vegetarian. Just keep it
It tastes like cabbage.
Becoming
Why
what
is
we
there
do
a
in shadows
slight
very
hint of
quickly.
broccoli?
All right, Charlie, give me a con roll.
Con. So stamina.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Con's the stat. Stamina would be the roll. You're right.
Succeeded.
Woo!
All right. Let me see how he does.
Punch him in the face. My tooth.
You have to times 5 it. Okay, he got a 75, which I think is also a success. All right, so both of you got successes. And the success. All right, he is right on your heel. Like you
And
feel
in his
his
case,
fingers on the
literally
back of your
nipping
coat
it.
as you yank the car door open. And that
Nice.
gets in the way enough that you're able to jump in and slam the door.
Awesome.
Get out of
Going
there.
to turn the car on and just drive off.
All right, he immediately tries to open the door.
Huh?
He immediately tries to open the car door.
He's gonna see that and he's gonna lock it.
All right, what is your? Let's just make this opposed agility rolls
Agility.
or dex, which would be
Succeeded.
Yeah, it is agility. I had it right. All right, his agility. Oh wait, I was looking at his size. That's a whole different thing. Ooh, he fails this one. So you get the door lock. And he's yanking on the handle. You crank the car up. You take off, and as you do, you hear this sort of metal tearing noise. And when you look in the rearview mirror, he's still holding the handle of your door.
Huh. Shit.
He starts running after your car, but you're able to, floor it, and he's not able to keep up with that.
Okay. And then with that, I am driving to the office.
All right.
Hey guys,
Vampires.
Nice, that's all.
guess what?
Alright,
Did
y'all
you
are,
get visited? Sorry.
so y'all are sitting around commiserating, trying to get Michael calmed down,
You would.
and then the door busts open and Charlie runs in.
Hey. It's
Did you
Charlie.
bust in? Hello, everybody.
Charlie?
Are
Vampire.
you okay?
Hello? Hi?
Hi, Charlie. It's been a few days. Let's start
Days?
there.
Work has been
And
crazy. Somebody died. Body went missing. Been kind of looking forward for the 2 days, trying to figure it out.
And he turned out to be a vampire. And
What?
while Leo is asking this, he is walking across there, going up to the sign, and going from possible to the red thumbtack, indicating confirmed.
I just imagine it's the one meme. It's the one meme of the guy going to the board.
Yes.
But you watch as Teak opens his vest, reaches in and pulls out a flask and pops it open, takes a swig and holds it out to Michael.
So
What is
we
this?
Booze.
It's not illegal to have booze. It's illegal to
Yeah,
sell
he just
booze.
thinks for a second, just like,
Goes over the legal ramifications.
yeah.
No, I think I'm good. I think I'm good here.
Mm-hmm.
So just so we're all clear, we have two notorious Chicagoan gangsters kind of running around,
Mm-hmm.
and we have vampires
checks
running
out.
around.
Yeah,
Yes, okay,
yeah.
Yep.
checks out.
Yep.
Okay, just making sure we're all on the same page.
And
Why didn't you
what-
come get one of us before going and looking for a vampire?
I didn't think he was gonna turn out to be a vampire.
Our track record's horrible. It'll always be a vampire.
And now that we've confirmed this, where was his body originally found?
No, he was in the hospital when this happened. He was in
Well,
the
no, no.
hospital.
He
being
died
treated,
in the hospital.
and then
Okay.
he was he seemed to be recovering, and then just died overnight.
Okay, I missed that part. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, and y'all's office phone rings.
Son of a.
Vivian picks it up. Hello, Bjorn office.
There's a woman's voice. Hello, may I speak to Michael Anderson, please?
Of course, who may I ask who's calling?
I'll give you one guess, Miss Vivian.
She looks like she really wants to hang up the phone. Just eye contact with Michael and be like,
It's for
third
you.
visit.
I need a bigger flask.
Next time, just bring a bottle.
It's the phone's like, this is Michael speaking.
Michael, honey, darling. You recognize the voice.
Almost immediately.
It's been so long. How have you been?
You notice, there's a faint twitch in his eyes before there's a bit of a grin that crosses his face. Ray, it's so good to hear from you.
You see Teak
Yeah, Vivian do the same thing.
Ray.
Does Tika also go who the fuck is that talking on the phone now?
He looks at Michael with this confused look, and then looks at Vivian, points at Michael, and goes, "What?"
Rachel, Ray, checks out.
Oh no, Vivian quietly. Yes, I get that, but
You clearly don't have siblings.
no, she's 3.
So anyway, she's asking you how you've been, Michael.
I'm all right. been doing one thing after another these days.
Oh, I can imagine. Creatures from other
I'm sure
worlds
you
showing
can.
up, bursting into flame, having your ex show up. It's got to be a lot.
It is a lot, yes.
So undoubtedly, your friends have told you me and your brother are in town.
I've been informed, yes.
We'd like to meet you or meet up with you.
Hmm.
It can be somewhere public if we make you nervous.
I very well remember what our family gets up to.
Well, okay, maybe somewhere not public then, if you don't want to be seen with us. And you hear your brother, in the background. He doesn't want to be seen with us. Well, he is with the DA's office.
That is true, yes. I need you to answer a question for me while I have you on the phone, though.
Certainly.
You wouldn't have happened to have anything to do with the Italians getting attacked recently, would you?
No. Well, in Abbey Shores, no.
I see. Okay, then. So, my family is here.
Yes.
The Italians are getting jumped. While you're here, out of familial piety, I suppose, whatever you want to call it, should probably warn you
Well,
that
we're not the one that
there's...
ran away from you. Let's just put that out there. We're not the ones that left the family.
You're also not the ones that are responsible for the death of our parents, either.
No. I would make an argument. I would make an argument that you weren't really responsible for that.
Yes.
You hear Adam in the background. The hell he wasn't.
But unlike you and Adam, sister, I am cursed with the fact that I have to relive that moment all the time.
Oh, you had your ability. Ooh, that wasn't smart.
It's not... He takes a breath. It's like you with your own gifts, sister. Sometimes we don't have a choice.
Oh, I did not realize that's how yours worked. Fascinating.
My memory is permanent. The only time my ability is active is when I wish to go back and examine things.
Oh, I see. Oh, I had that completely wrong.
Yes. Because, unlike Adam, who is focused on the present, you, who is always focused to the future, I have to always remember the past.
All right, I can see that being some unpleasantness. It doesn't necessarily explain why you abandoned your siblings. We all lost our parents. Some unity would have been nice. You know what? This is a conversation we should have in person.
Yes, it is.
And I realize, given your occupation and our occupation, you're going to be suspicious of us. Though I assure you, we are not here on business reasons.
I was about to ask that next, but that is heartening to know.
I may invest in some businesses while I'm here, but not of the sort that would bother you. As you can imagine, I'm quite good with the stock market.
Yeah, so am I.
Someone with a pocket protector.
Oh, and here I thought you were just making all that money working working for the DA.
I learned a few things from you before I left.
But so obviously called to set up the meeting. But I also wanted to give you a sign of goodwill, if you will.
Those of you in the office, you see Michael straighten up, his eyes narrow a bit.
This entire time that you've been having this conversation, Teak has started the flask here and has slowly moved it closer and closer to Michael every time he gets frustrated until it's about here.
Yeah.
Just drop a straw on it.
Here
I'm
comes the
making-
airplane.
Drink, you fool!
Imagine Teak learning how to
Shut up,
fly.
shut up.
Teak himself is the airplane just dives in, just drink.
Hands it to Lilac.
Lilac has slipped off your shoulders and quietly made her way over, so she's hovering kind of behind Michael.
Oh yeah, she's totally
Like
listening.
she's trying to get close enough so she can hear the phone.
Oh yeah.
And as a sign of good faith, Teak will hold his hand right behind Michael's head.
You may have just gotten yourself forgiven. Now she doesn't have the sound of her own wings muddling things. So anyway, Michael, your sister's offering you a sign of goodwill.
Yeah, it's like, and well, I'm listening.
Let's see, how would she refer it? So that young lady that you adopted, took in, I don't know. Do you look at her as a sibling, or is it more like a puppy? But the young lady you're looking after,
Yes.
she's in terrible danger. And before you ask, no, not from us.
What did you see?
Darkness, eyes in the dark.
Damn it, Aloysius.
Something about a peanut farmer. I don't know. I don't know what good peanuts would do. Something like that.
Unknowingly, she has a severe peanut allergy.
Dun, dun, dun.
EpiPens haven't been invented yet.
But I guess
So-
this might come in handy.
Oh
more
dear
after
lord,
all.
I just realized she's gonna marry Jimmy Carter.
Well, thank you for that warning. Let me give
Just
you
thought
one
you should
in
know,
good
and you
faith
should
as
probably
well.
act on it quickly.
Yes. While you and Adam are out and about, sister, please be mindful of the vampires. Click. And he is up, vaulting over the desk, and he is out the door.
Wait, where are we going?
And that's where we're at.
Roll credits.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, I hope y'all had fun.
Yes.
I enjoyed it.
You got to introduce vampires. I know you had fun.
Yeah.
Yes,
The second it came up, I'm like, ah, shit.
This has been some time in coming.
Mm-hmm. Game 3.
But
We're not the
Are they-
vampires, game 3, but game 3.
Of course, you'd be ecstatic
Oh.
about vampires.
No, I'm just realizing this is Jason realizing his fantasy of us being the hunters.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah,
only for a
dude.
story, not for a campaign.
We almost ran Hunter. But
Next
that was
thing-
close
next-
enough.
Next thing we know, he'll introduce pirates, and it'll be vampires versus pirates.
Vampires.
Who will win?
It could technically be
merge.
Samuel.
Vampirates, yes.
Mm.
Wait, no. No, it couldn't be Samuel, could it?
No.
I couldn't remember if Samuel was World War I or World War II.
He was World War One. Yeah. He was World
One.
War One. British medical officer.
Well, there you go.
Right time period, wrong universe.
Yeah.
So anyway, I hope y'all had fun. Hope anybody that comes by watches or listens later. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll join us again next week. Again, I've been your storyteller for the evening, Jason, and with me has been Carr playing Teak, Rappy playing Charlie,
Waves.
Jeremy playing Salvador, Patrick playing Leo,
And again, salutes from the darkness.
Sarah playing Vivian,
Waving from the video.
and Eric playing Michael. The man with a family reunion to look forward to.
Yeah.
And we will see y'all next week.
Bye
So
bye.
tread with care
Goodbye.
and heed the sign. Abomination, alleys light. For in the night the shadows grow and take with them your trouble